2025 genuinely might have been the worst year I've been alive for. But on the bright side, we got some insane anime during it. Like, seriously, this year had it all. Some great new series that lived up to the hype, some new series that shat the bed a little, some sequel seasons that we had waited half a decade for, some sequel seasons we had waited a decade and a half for, and whatever the hell One Punch Man Season 3 is. The point I'm trying to get to is that we are getting super close to the end of the year now, which means that it's time for me to take a look at all the anime I watched that came out this year, give my thoughts on them, and determine what I thought was the best anime of the year. And I'll get right into that, but super quickly before that, hi, my name is Vizaster, and welcome to or back to the channel. If you're a returning viewer, I'm very sorry I haven't uploaded in 3 months, and if you're a new viewer, I do videos about anime and video games and all sorts of shit all the time, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, then please consider subscribing. But without any further ado, this was anime in 2025. Starting off the year, we had Sakamoto Days. If you like Spy X Family and Buddy Daddies, then you need to watch this. It's about hitmen who are trying to settle down and become normal convenience store workers, but because of their previous ties, they're constantly targeted and made to deal with threats. This results in an engaging, if not completely original, dynamic with cool action and decent comedy. It's also based off of a pretty well-loved manga, which I'm mentioning because okay, yeah, you might see where I'm going with this. Sakamoto Days had the potential to be as big as shows like Spy X Family, or to use a more recent example, Dandadan, but it, well, wasn't. I think a big part of the lack of hype surrounding this anime was the animation. It's not bad, but there are some scenes I look at and think, damn, if Trigger or Science Saru did this, it would be so much cooler. This is a good show, but it's also not the most original show nor the best animated one. It's great, but doesn't really reach its full potential. One thing I feel the need to mention though is that the opening fucking slaps. The ending, not great, but that opening is heat. 5 years after the first season, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Season 2 finally aired. I pretty much already gave my thoughts on the anime in my 2020 Anime in Years video.
What it was an awesome anime
is what I would say if that video wasn't a stinking pile of shit. The first season of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun was great. It was a fun blend of action, slice of life, supernatural, and mystery that had a good balance of lighthearted and emotional moments, as well as fantastic animation by Lurch. Unfortunately, it was fairly rushed, as a lot of people pointed out. Now, Season 2, on the other hand, holy fuck. It started out as a good continuation of the already good first season, but Episode 5 started up an arc that proved that the show could hit new heights I wasn't even expecting. I won't spoil anything, but the Picture Perfect arc genuinely might be my favorite arc in the series so far. Season 1 had incredible moments, but the much improved pacing in this season allows it to tug at your heartstrings, get you invested, and absolutely fuck your mind. If you haven't watched this anime yet, there is no better time to start watching it. The 5-year wait was worth it. Two of my favorite things about the first season were the incredible opening and ending themes, and Season 2 doesn't disappoint with its new opening and ending. I still prefer the first opening and ending, but they did get Masayoshi Oishi on the opening and Hikaru Kito on the ending again, so that's how you know they're good.
I can't read.
Any questions?
Yeah, bitch, I can't read. What the fuck is this shit? Like the previous anime, Blue Exorcist was taken to new heights with Season 5, which arguably featured the best arc of the series yet. Again, I won't spoil anything, but this arc gives us some of the greatest character development, background, and establishment in the show. Like I said in my 2024 video, I enjoyed Season 3 and 4, but this season felt consistently well crafted instead of like something I was just watching purely because of nostalgia. The reason why I would hesitate to call this the show's best arc though, is because it features a romance subplot with an uncomfortable age gap that ruined my view of one of the characters a little. The opening and ending themes also didn't impress me, but still, I'm excited to see where the series goes in the future.
Satan didn't have an ego, so since it was his first time, he was still...
I like Solo Leveling. I said as much in my 2024 video, but I also think that Solo Leveling is an intrinsically flawed show. The characters are not characters, the plot isn't the most original, and the main genre is essentially self-insert aura farming. But for some reason, I couldn't put my finger on my biggest issue with the series until now, and that is that this show has no fucking stakes. It is especially clear in this season. Everything, and I mean everything, works out in the main character's favor. If he wants to do something, he will do it. This is not a show that you can watch for the story and characters. Aside from the occasional interesting twist or turn, this is a very hollow show. Now with that said, Solo Leveling also features some of the coolest, most incredibly animated fights. This is what you watch the show for. The action makes the show worth watching, but also, it does not make it the 25th best anime of all time. What the fuck? I know that my anime list ratings are meaningless, but do this many people seriously think that this show is better than Mob Psycho, Cowboy Bebop, Violet Evergarden? Like I said, Solo Leveling is good, but only when you turn your brain off. But these shows are just good. Come on now. Anyways, what do we have next? Oh, these gay freaks. That's right, baby. After 4 long years of waiting, we finally got more Skate the Infinity. And by more Skate the Infinity, I of course mean Extra Part, a slice of life OVA, not to be confused with Season 2, which still has no confirmed air date. All jokes aside though, this OVA isn't the most memorable thing ever, and it doesn't contain the same action and excitement as the actual series, but it was still a perfectly serviceable and enjoyable appetizer to Season 2. Whenever that happens. It was nice to see all the characters again, except for, you know, the pedophile. Lycoris Recoil is an anime that I sadly never got to talk about in one of these videos, since I never made one for 2022. So I'll say right now that it's a pretty cool anime about 2 crime-fighting lesbians, oh, sorry, 2 straight women who constantly blush around each other and cling to each other all the time. Sorry, my mistake. This spring, we got a slice-of-life OVA series called Friends Are Thieves of Time. It consists of 6 episodes ranging from 2 to 5 minutes in length, and I can honestly say the same things I said about the Skate OVA for this one. It's perfectly fine, but not super memorable and not action-packed like the actual series. Oh, it was also a nice appetizer for the 2nd season that we're getting that's also seemingly in development hell. There are 2 additional things I want to say about this OVA though. 1, the pacing could really get all over the place sometimes due to the really short episode run times, and 2, it was really bittersweet to hear the ending theme Hana no To by Sayuri, again after she tragically passed away at the age of 28 last year. Rest in peace. Okay, next up is Lazarus, and I tried. I really tried to write a segment about this anime that wasn't 8 gajillion paragraphs long, but I genuinely just have too much to say about it. So what is Lazarus? The newest anime from Shinichiro Watanabe, the creator of Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, and much more, as well as a really disappointing anime, and an anime that I'm just gonna have to do a full review of sometime soon. So subscribe if you want to see that. I'll move on to the next anime, but I do want to say that while Lazarus wasn't particularly good, there were definitely many things to like about it, and it definitely wasn't abysmal. Oh no, not yet. We haven't reached abysmal territory yet. When season 1 of Go-Go Loser Ranger aired last spring, it started out as a fun and interesting parody of series like Power Rangers, with the monsters being the good guys instead of the heroes. And while it was a relatively enjoyable season all the way through, it kinda started to lose focus of itself after their first few episodes, in terms of both the plot and pacing. And with season 2 this spring, man, I don't even know. The season started out with this boring, endless 8-ass arc that was repetitive and dragged on forever, and then the second half was dedicated to this actually interesting arc where this pro-monster group joined the battle, which would have been a lot more interesting if the pacing didn't make me feel like I was having an aneurysm. In the end, I really don't know with this show anymore. I feel like it doesn't even know what it's trying to be about at this point. There's been no announcement of a 3rd season, and if we get one, sure, I'll watch it, but if not, honestly, I can't say I'll care all that much. But while Go-Go Loser Ranger Season 2 really failed to capture my interest, I must admit that it did have a top 5 moment from anything that came out this year.
I have diverse taste in manga and happen to read a lot of yaoi. So I'm coming in!
What? And that's the perfect opportunity to bring up the fact that the next anime I'll be talking about is Season 2 of Grinder Battle Royale. And like Season 1, it was pretty good.
You bastard! Move! Nire!
Oh my god, they took the twink down in less than 15 seconds. In my 2024 Anime in Years video, I said that Windbreaker was an enjoyable action anime with cool fights and a strong sense of connection between the characters, but that the story wasn't the most original and that the writing was a little weak. With Season 2, not too much changed. It's still a pretty fun watch, it's definitely more emotionally gripping than a show like Solo Leveling, but it's far from being perfect or even completely original. I do want to quickly highlight episodes 5 and 6 though, as they introduced a character named Tatsuku Tsubakino, a genderqueer gay man, and give us his backstory of how he came to accept his identity. Now, given the subject matter of these two episodes and the fact that they did not contain fights, they were obviously review bombed, but don't let that fool you. Story-wise, they are two of the strongest episodes of this anime so far, and, well, what can I say? It's always cool to see a character like this portrayed well in an anime, especially when it comes to action anime. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering, there isn't a character like that in Solo Leveling. Hey, hold on a second, I'm gonna touch you with my shadow. There we go. Rock is a Lady's Modesty is kinda like Bocchi the Rock. It follows a ragtag group of colorful-haired high school girls who join together and form a band. Okay, that's pretty much it when it comes to the similarities. The show is meaner, gayer, and much more intense, and it's fucking awesome. Lisa is a student at a prestigious all-girls academy, where...
Let me think for a second. Ravel's
Yo.
pavane for a dead princess is most refined.
Pause. No, that's not her real hair. That is not. She could fucking kill someone with that fucking hair. Lisa is a student at a prestigious all-girls academy where all the students must strive to become proper, delicate ladies. But our main character has a secret. She likes to shred the fuck out on guitar. She ends up meeting 3 other girls who share similar interests, and together they form a band. And they berate the fuck out of each other. Holy shit. Oh, and they also... The fucking flowers, bro. It is not that dramatic. Dude. Oh my god, this shit is gay. This shit is gay. Son.
Who is
Folk, I'm crying.
She's so beautiful that she nearly took my breath
wait, this
away.
shit is actually gay as hell. Are they at like a private school? They're gonna get like publicly executed for this. Yeah, the show gets intense. But it's not always like that. The girls yell at each other, yes, but it's really to motivate each other to perform to the best of their abilities, and they all have their own special connections that they form with other characters. Under the surface level, it's an anime with heart. Unfortunately, it's also an anime with fan service, which can get very irritating. Oh, and speaking of anime with fan service... 5 minutes in, and we're already doing this bullshit. Okay. After a 5-year-long wait, we finally got Fire Force Season 3, and thankfully, it provided more of the same. More of the incredible art and character designs, courtesy of Atsushi Okubo, the creator of Soul Eater, which is literally my favorite manga of all time. More of the stunning animation, courtesy of David Production, the same studio behind JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. More of the flimsy-ass sound design. More of the intriguing story and fun cast of characters, and more of the stupid fucking fan service. I love Atsushi Okubo, and he is a fantastic writer, but the fact that this series contains an entire character who is solely dedicated to having her tits and ass pop out and completely ruin any momentum during action sequences, it's dumb. It is genuinely so irritating, especially given how enjoyable the series is otherwise. Hey, what the hell? This bitch is Elon Musk! But yeah, Fire Force Season 3 was pretty good, and the last episode was a genuinely jaw-dropping and stunning piece of art. The only complaint I have, aside from, well, you know, is that the opening and ending themes this time around were really underwhelming. I mean, every single opening from the first 2 seasons went unfathomably hard, and that very first ending, Veil, what a fucking song, man. But in this season... the themes just lack energy, and I honestly don't really feel them. Spring 2025 was a little rough in terms of anime. Don't get me wrong, there was some great stuff to be found, but there were a lot of not so great anime that aired then too. But luckily, summer 2025 was literally one of the best seasons for anime in recent memory. Not a single anime I watched that aired during this season was not a banger. As I've continued to watch anime over the years, I've learned something. Some of the best anime out there are 6-episode long OVAs and ONAs. In this summer, we got a new one, Takopi's Original Sin. If you're an avid anime watcher, there's probably a good chance that you've at least heard of this one. After all, when it came out, it popped the fuck off. On my anime list, it currently has a score of 8.87, which makes it the 25th highest rated anime of all time on the site. On IMDb, it has a score of 8.9, with all of the episodes having a score of at least 9.2. And maybe that alone will tell you that it's worth watching, but at the same time, Solo Leveling has a score of 8.7 on IMDb, and we already talked about its ranking on Mal, so wow, I genuinely have bashed that anime so much during this video, I'm starting to wonder if I even actually like it. But Takopi's Original Sin is an anime that is truly worth the hype. It follows a pink, octopus-looking alien named Takopi, who was sent from Planet Happy to spread happiness on Earth. On Earth, he makes it his mission to help out Shizuka, a 4th grade girl whose life is absolutely miserable, and he quickly finds out that some people are seriously damaged and really, really hard to help. And Shizuka isn't the only case of this. We meet her classmates too, and while they seem much better on the surface, they're struggling with all sorts of issues too. And when their lives all intersect, absolute mindfuckery ensues. As you can probably tell by now, this anime delves into a lot, and I mean a lot, of messy and sensitive subjects. And for the sake of moving along and sparing certain audiences, I'll save talking about them for a full review later down the line. But what I will say about this show is that it amazed me. Shows about people struggling and people in fucked up situations are definitely not new, but Takopi's original sin manages to surpass your expectations when it comes to both how fucked up it can get, as well as how, well, beautiful it can get. Because yeah, there's a lot of beauty too. The animation is fucking gorgeous, and it's even more impressive when you find out that this is this studio's first independent anime project. The soundtrack is nice, especially when it comes to the cute opening theme and the absolute heartstring-tugging ending theme. If you haven't watched this anime yet, and I haven't convinced you to do it yet, then, I don't know, fuck you, watch it.
Sorry, I was just shooting a clip. Trying to be a boottuber.
Hey man,
come on in. Check it out.
Subscribers. Dandadan was my second favorite anime to come out of last year, and I couldn't wait to see more. So it was a good thing that Season 2 started airing less than a year after the first one did. Now, that first season had one of the greatest episodes of anime I had ever seen. Like, I made a whole video just about episode 7, so this second season had some pretty big shoes to fill. And luckily, this season was fucking fantastic too. I'm obviously not going to spoil anything, but here's what I will say. Practically everything I loved about the first season is here. The amazing characters, the gripping story beats, the banging music, the uniqueness that keeps literally every single fight interesting, and of course the incredible animation courtesy of Science Saru. That's right baby, it's all back. That unfortunately includes the occasional unnecessary weird shit as well, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's literally one of those scenes at the very beginning of the first goddamn episode of this season. I love this show, but what the fuck? You'd think the art and animation would be less impressive the second go around, but nope, this shit still continues to floor me. Shit like the evil eye kicking the soccer ball of the damned not only makes sense as a plot point, but it's also animated insanely fucking well. And the evil eye as a whole is just one of the coolest character designs ever. Yuki no Butatsu is the GOAT, and even when you move away from the hype shit to focus on shit like Ira walking in episode 5, I'm telling you, the small but super fucking awesome detail of the light moving on and off of her face, it's so cool. I do have to say though, I definitely liked the first season more. Like I said, this new season was great, but it definitely didn't pack the same emotional highs and lows as that first season. Apparently, there's more stuff like episode 7 later down the line, so hopefully we'll see that in season 3 when it airs. On a regular hot summer day in the countryside of Japan, two best friends, Yoshiki and Hikaru, sit and chat while they eat ice cream. But things aren't as normal as they appear. You see, Hikaru went missing in the mountains for an entire week, and just reappeared like everything was normal. So after mustering up the courage to do so, Yoshiki asks him a question.
You are not the real Hikaru, are you?
But honestly, this dude's paranoid as fuck that— Oh yeah, okay, you might be right. If you're looking for an anime that'll fuck with your mind, then look no further than the summer Hikaru died. The concept of the show alone is dope. This guy's best friend died, but now a version of him that clearly is not him has started hanging around him. So an interesting question gets posed. If your friend died but you were still able to hang out with a fake yet accurate enough version of them, would you? Over the course of the series, more and more mysteries begin to present themselves. We know that Hikaru is dead, but is this new Hikaru dangerous? Is Yoshiki in danger? Is a part of actual Hikaru still alive in there? And why are Hikaru and Yoshiki so fucking gay? Oh, right, this isn't even technically a BL, by the way. Yeah, this shit is gay as fuck. Yoshiki is clearly really mentally unwell, not to mention vulnerable, and Hikaru isn't even the real Hikaru and may or may not be evil. It's sort of the epitome of what the kids call toxic yaoi. I already showed you one of the moments I'm talking about, but I genuinely compiled an entire list spanning multiple episodes of all the gay moments in the series. And I know damn well I missed some things too. Even aside from the shit I've already talked about, the summer Hikaru died has a lot going for it. The main story is sick, there's a cool side plot with an investigator guy, and the mindfuckery and horror elements are really effective. The animation is beautiful and there are a lot of interesting cinematic techniques used, adding to the horror atmosphere and giving the show a real art film vibe. Also, the opening is a fucking banger and the ending is pretty solid too. The only real issues I had with it were that it could get a little confusing sometimes and that the side characters felt relatively underutilized. A second season has been announced and I'm really excited to see where the series goes in the future. I gotta admit, I was a little worried going into new Panty Stocking with Garterbelt. I love the original series and I was nervous about this new season not being good, or at the very least feeling forced. And I had pretty valid reasons to be worried. The main dub cast wouldn't be reprising their roles here for one thing, and this new season was airing so long after the first one. I knew Trigger would be handling everything, so it couldn't turn out too bad, but I mean, I was worried, man. And then the first episode had a scene where Brief used a dick to launch himself up to reattach Panty's pussy to her body, followed by Panty Stocking fighting with fucking JoJo stands. Yeah, this season's a masterpiece. The first season of Panty Stocking with Garterbelt was one of the most unhinged and inventive anime I had ever watched, and with this new season, Trigger wasn't fucking around. It feels like the show has gotten more crass, more insane, more ridiculous, and more inventive. It's safe to say that they truly outdid themselves here. There's more sexual shit, more action, more explosions, more ADHD-ridden animation and writing. The series has been given a fresh, modern coat of paint, new and improved designs and animation, new jokes and material, and so on. But it's still the same amazing show. You even got some new characters. There's a girl who likes fucking guns, a kid who's obsessed with anime and will probably grow out to be a Discord mod, 2 new male angels. Damn, they're actually kind of fucking strong.
They just overtook us! Motherfucking twin twink angels!
The writing is good, the soundtrack is great, that includes both the old and new tracks, and the animation is mind-blowing. This new season is amazing. Like the first season though, not every part is perfect. The anime is episodic, with little to no continuity, and as a result, the team really approaches it with a throw shit at the wall and see what sticks kind of attitude. And while I very much appreciate that that's the kind of show it is, I can also admit that no, not every episode is created equal. Some segments feel like they were rushed or could have just been scrapped entirely. I also don't like the new dub cast as much as the old one. Don't get me wrong, I can very much see why some of the changes were made, and the new dub cast does a great job. It's just that the dubcast for the first season did a superb job. I do think that people online overreacted, saying that the new cast was the worst thing ever, because they get the job done perfectly fine, even if they do leave a fair amount to be desired. Before I stop talking about new Panty Stocking, I just want to say that I attended Trigger's panels for the show during Otakon this year. You can hear me talk about them in my vlog about it that I did earlier this year, which I'll link above. Gachiakuta is an anime I've been eagerly waiting to watch ever since it was first announced. The creator, Kei Urano, worked as Atsushi Okubo's assistant. That's right, the creator of Soul Eater and Fire Force. Okubo himself literally gave Urano the G-Pass, telling his fans to go read Gachiakuta after Fire Force ended. And since this manga looked cool, and Soul Eater is literally my favorite manga of all time, I couldn't wait for this anime to air. And it did not disappoint. The concept is insane, the characters are crazy, the fights are sick, the art and animation are fantastic. I'm getting ahead of myself. Gachiakuta begins on an airborne island known as the Sphere. It's divided into 2 areas, one for wealthy people and the slums. People in the slums are treated as second-class citizens by the rich, and our protagonist, Rudo, is a kid living in the slums who has to take a lot of their crap. But he manages to get by, until one day everything changes. One day he's framed for a murder he did not commit, and sentenced to a place even worse than the slums, the pit.
I finna be in the pit.
The pit is a disgusting, literal wasteland. Piles upon piles of trash cover the ground, the air is bleak and polluted, and now Rudo has to find a way to survive here. Does that already sound like an interesting premise to you? That's not even it. It turns out that there's a whole civilization in the pit, and Rudo ends up meeting and joining this group called the Cleaners, who are dedicated to protecting the peace there. And they end up fighting monsters called trash beasts, and people turn trashed items into super-powered objects to fight, and holy fuck. In many ways, Gachiakuta feels like a spiritual successor to Soul Eater. I mean, first of all, the art style has the same wacky and awesome look to it, but the anime is being animated by Studio Bones, the soundtrack is being done by Takuya Iwasaki. I mean, come on. They've even got the Soul Eater facial expressions down pat. But don't let that fool you, Gachiakuta is still very much its own work. The concept is original as fuck, the world building is fascinating, the messages about environmentalism are neat, and as you go through the episodes, you'll find that the anime has its own heart-wrenching emotional stories to tell, like Dandadan episode 7 levels of emotional. With all of that said though, Gachiakuta is not completely flawless. The series does take a few episodes to really find its footing, and while the actual soundtrack is really good, the openings and endings are just eh. The first opening is fine, and so are the two ending themes, but the second opening is by fucking Mori Calliope, you know.
Jesus, Japanese!
That Mori Calliope? Yeah, the second opening is straight ass. This series really deserves some Soul Eater or Fire Force level themes, but still, it's fantastic, watch it. My final verdict, it's trash. Get it? Because it's like about trash. This Monster Wants to Eat Me is about a girl named Hinako. She's been really depressed ever since her parents died, but she's too afraid to bring herself to end things. One day, while walking home from school, she's attacked and dragged underwater by a sea monster. She thinks her time is up, but she's saved by another sea monster? This one's name is Shiori, and she tells Hinako that she didn't just save her out of the goodness of her heart. Rather, she did it because she wants to wait until she's at her most delicious and then eat her. Rather than being scared, Hinako is excited about being able to meet her end, and thus starts their weird, unlikely friendship. But Shiori isn't just a sea monster.
それに私が食べたいのは君だけですし。
She's a lesbian. As you may have gleaned from that description, This Monster Wants to Eat Me is far from your typical romance anime. Shiori may be attracted to Hinako, but their relationship is essentially based around one girl wanting to literally eat the other one, and the other one wanting that to happen, and the former sure has an unsettling aura to her. But beneath all of that, there's a genuine connection between these two. Shiori may seem scary, but it becomes clear as the episodes progress that she really wants to protect Hinako and help her improve her life in a lot of ways. It's strange and it's complicated, but it's so goddamn interesting. What I'm trying to say is that it's essentially the toxic Yuri answer to the summer Hikaru died. The plot isn't just centered around the main two, though. Hinako's best friend, Miko, comes into play in a much more major way than you'd expect, leading to really interesting dynamics between each of the characters. This does sometimes lead to situations where you can tell that the author's written herself into a corner, leading to characters doing dumb shit for no reason every once in a while, but overall, it's a good series. Funnily enough, I actually attended a panel for this anime during Otakon as well, and you can hear me talk about that in the same vlog I mentioned earlier. I got to hear the original mangaka and her team speak about it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very big fan of Spy X Family. I'm caught up on the manga and own all of the volumes, and I've watched the anime, and I found it to be pretty consistently enjoyable. But some people, especially in recent times, have criticized the series, saying that it's gotten repetitive. After all, the main plotline is based on a gimmick where the characters are all keeping secrets from each other, and there's only so much you can do to keep that entertaining. And to some extent, I can see where these people are coming from, and I think that some story beats have gone on for far too long without any real advancement. But honestly, I think that for the most part, the writing is fresh enough to keep the story really engaging. And a lot of people seem to forget that the series is also able to tell really compelling stories about war, corruption, propaganda, and people with names that almost sound like they could be real, but not quite. And with season 3, that's never been more true. Speaking of third seasons...
Dining and dashing's a crime!
No.
I'll go after him!
No.
You ate one of those fries! The bill's on you!
I know, I did not just see that. Wait. They didn't even...
Dining and dashing's a crime!
They didn't even bother to animate a background. He's running into the void. Man, what even is there to say about One Punch Man Season 3? I guess that there isn't much to be said, just look at it. I mean, season 1 of the show was animated by Madhouse in their prime, like straight off the heels of Hunter x Hunter, and it was just look at that animation, man. And then it was announced that fucking JC Staff would be animating season 2, you know, that JC Staff, and there was a noticeable dip in animation quality, but it was a solid enough season overall. Now, season 3, One Punch Man now has the lowest rated anime episode on IMDb, and the highest rated episode from the season currently has a measly 6.7 out of 10. The current mouse score for this season is a fucking 4.51 out of 10. Yeah, there's no sugarcoating it. This season is fucking abysmal. It's really funny because before it aired, a bunch of sources said that this season would be animated by MAPPA. But then it turned out that the origin of that information came from a parody account, and yeah, this definitely isn't MAPPA. Except I'm not entirely sure it's JC's staff either. At this point, I'm actually convinced that it's the mice living in the vents at that studio animating this. Now, is it unfortunate that this series has tanked so hard? Yes. But at the same time, we now have this clip of a fucking PNG Garo sliding down a hill, and it's the funniest shit ever. You know what? Fuck it. One Punch Man Season 3 was the best anime of 2025. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, as great as the season was, it would be unfair to name a sequel season as the best anime of the year. So out of every anime that I watched this year, which one would I consider the best? Well, drumroll please. My favorite anime of the year was Takopi's Original Sin. It was either gonna be this or the summer Hikaru died, and this just barely won over it because, fuck, this show, man, it really can take you everywhere. Fear, sadness, disgust, joy, you name it. The drama and stakes are genuinely intense, the characters are so easy to get attached to, and everything culminates in a crazy finale. Over the course of its 6 episodes, it's impossible to predict where this show will go, and while that does result in some convoluted shit sometimes, for the most part, everything feels natural. In spite of the short runtime, everything feels perfectly paced, and it really drives home the point that an anime doesn't need to be long to be good. Is the cute looking show that's actually fucked up gimmick original? No. But Takopi's Original Sin really does feel like some of the best stuff we've gotten from that trope. This really is a special anime, and if you can handle dark and unsettling themes, then you really need to give it a watch. And those were all the anime that aired in 2025 that I watched. Did you keep up with seasonal anime this year? And if so, did you have a favorite anime, a least favorite? What were my worst takes in this video? Let me know. Also, I know there were definitely some anime that I missed out on this year because there's only so much I can watch. So if you had a favorite anime that came out this year that I missed, then let me know in the comments below. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe. My goal was to hit 1K subscribers by the end of the year, but given how little I uploaded towards the end of it, I doubt that's gonna happen. But who knows? I'm close to it, so maybe. I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, bye!